Okay, so this is my interface which has 0 open orders. So I'll start placing orders using terminal API, I mean the Deribit API. Yeah, so this is the code. Okay, and this is the source code and source code folder, and this is the build folder and cmake.txt. So let's try to test the code and then we'll discuss about it later. So to test the code, just enter into the build folder and type make, which produces the executable file known as trading client. So execute it. So it asks you to enter your public ID. So enter your public ID here and then your private ID. Okay, so after entering, it authenticates and generates access tokens, which are further used for placing order and modifying and cancelling order. So we'll try to place an order initially. Task you to enter name. So let us type BTC TUAN and let's give us a price 20,000 and amount as 200. Yeah, so order has been placed successfully. So let's go and check it out at our home page. Yeah, we have seen here 20,000 200 amount order has been placed. So let's try placing other orders. So wait, okay, so let's try placing ETH 26 September 25. Okay, let's try placing this order. TH 26 September 25. It's asking you to enter price, so let's enter 204 and amount as 2. Yeah, order has been placed successfully. Sorry. So let's try to place another order. So we'll go and see another order. So let's try to place something like so we'll try to place this Doge USDC perpetual. Doge USDC. Yeah, so it's asking you to enter a price. So yep, order has been placed successfully. So you can check it out. So currently 3 orders have been placed. And so what if a user enters a wrong instrument name or something wrong? So we'll try even that case. So let's try giving Doge. And try giving price 2000 and so we'll get an error wrong format. It's because we have entered a wrong instrument name. Okay, let's try to see the total orders present here. Yeah, we have placed 3 orders. 3 orders has been displayed here. So if you want details more, you can go from here. All open orders in detail. So this is my first order, this is my second order, this is my third order. So okay, sorry for the cough, my throat is bad. So yeah, there are 3 orders placed, so we can see here in a short form. So let's try to cancel some, or let's try to modify the orders. Okay, it's asking you to enter your order ID. So we'll try to modify Ethereum one. So new price, I'll give it as 2040, like let's give it as 2040. New amount as 20. Yep, order has been modified successfully. Let's check it. Yep, see, you have modified price 2040, and even it reflects here. So 2040, and amount I kept as 20 for Ethereum. So let's try for others also. So let's try for this. New price, so let's keep it as 2 lakhs, or let's keep it as 200, and amount we'll keep it as 2. So yep, see, if you enter a wrong multiple of contract size, so this is the error we got. Let's try again. New price, and amount is 100. Yep, order has been modified. So let's check it from here and as well as there. So for BTC perpetual, so yeah, you can see here 20,000, our order has been changed. So from here, see, 20,000 and amount as 100, so order has been changed. So yeah, this is the second function, modifying order. So okay, let's try to cancel the orders. So to cancel the order, press 5. So it's asking you to enter the order ID. So let's cancel this one. So yeah, it says been cancelled. So we have only 2 orders present right now. Let's try to cancel even another one. So okay, we'll try to cancel another order. Okay, let's check out how many orders are present. So there are 2 orders present right now. So let's try to cancel this one order. So to cancel, press 5. Yep, order has been cancelled. So we have only 1 order present right now. Okay, let's try to get, okay, we'll perform this one right now. Odd open orders. Oh sorry, we'll try to perform the order book. Okay, we'll try to perform the order book right now. So what instrument do you want? So we'll try for BTC perpetual. So depth will keep it as 10. It's taking some time to process. Yep, so we got information. So this is the order book for BTC perpetual. So where asks are given and the best ask amount is given. The bids are also given. The change ID, instrument value, mark price, in max bids, and also price. So let's also try for another order book. So let's try order book for Doge. So let's try order book for this one. Order book 3 Doge for USD. So depth will take it as 10 again. You can change. So here is it. So best ask price, best bid amount, price, and also bids and asks are 0, so they have been given here. So this is the get order book function. So let's try to get the positions of our orders. So since we have only Ethereum present right now, so we'll give Ethereum, and we'll select kind as future. So yep, we got our information: average price, direction, estimated liquidation, instrument name, kind future, maintenance margin, and the total. So what if we try entering a BTC which we don't have? So it pops an error. So let's show that. Let's see that. Sorry. So we'll try giving BTC. Try giving future. Yep, we got nothing. So empty. It's okay. So this is a get position function. So let's try to subscribe an order book. So let's take an instrument as BTC perpetual. Let's try to subscribe it. Okay, so now here we are using WebSocket to send our request. So we'll try to set the duration for our notifications to receive. So I'll keep it as around like 15 seconds. And yep, WebSocket connection has been established, and we start receiving the notifications. So update 9, update 10, update 12. So we receive this for 15 seconds, and then it gets disconnected. Yep, so it's closing the WebSocket connection after 50 seconds. So again, let's try to get all the orders back. So these are all the orders present here, and my subscriptions are BTC perpetual. So let's try for another order. Let's try for Ethereum perpetual now. So again, we'll keep this for 15 seconds only. You can extend even and keep it for okay. Okay, we'll try to play subscribe another instrument. So instrument name will give E2H perpetual. So we'll give 20 seconds of time. Okay, might be an error. So let's try once again. Let's try to subscribe order. Let's keep it as ETH perpetual, and for 10 seconds. Yeah, so yep, we got it. So we are receiving the orders. So these are orders for ETH perpetual and notifications which we are getting for 10 seconds. So yeah, so this is the testing part. So there might be few errors which haven't been resolved, but most of the errors and edge cases have been handled here. And also for every error, so there had been written a statement. So we'll go into the code part now. So this is the code which I have written. So these are the libraries which are which have been used, which include a CURL library for HTTP requests, and we used WebSocket, WebTTP, uh, WebTTP library, and so yeah, from here we start. This is aliasing of a WebSocket TPP client. I mean, so okay, this is the code. So these includes IOStream library, CURL library for HTTP request, and WebSocket TPP library for WebSocket communication. So we'll start from line number 12. So this is aliasing of a WebSocket client which we created. So that client uses asynchronous input output operations, and TLS, so that is transport layer security mode of communication. And this is again another type of aliasing for normal JSON, for parsing the JSON payload. So we use this instead of writing this long sentence, we try to give JSON. And this is this function is used to write a response from server into a string. So it converts the coming payload into from server into a string and returns. And then coming to the class, so here we have the first some private variables, uh, client ID, client secret ID, access token, and the base URL for HTTP request, and WebSocket URL. And then so coming to our first function is send request. So my first function is a send request function. So the send request function sends the request which we are giving to its endpoint or to server. So it takes endpoint as in arguments, and payload, and also tokens. So token in the sense the authentication token which we have generated. So this might be optional, for some cases it is needed. So send request token, here it creates here it initializes the CURL and CURL library, and okay, so this is the first function. So in the class, so that is send request function, which is used to send a CURL request to a server, I mean the HTTP request. So it has arguments as endpoint, and payload, and also token. Okay, so this endpoint is to where the request has been sent, and the payload is the information which we are sending, and the token is the authentication token which we have generated initially. So coming to the code part of send request, so the first line here states that it initializes the CURL library to use, and then the CURL easy init function inbuilt. It initializes the handle to initialize the handle. And then coming to inside part, so here we are combining the base URL that is presented here, and also the endpoint to where we are going to send. So from here we can tell the request which we are sending is a post request, and then here we are getting the output, the payload.dump, which is in the form of JSON, and we are converting it into string. And then after converting it into string, like we are again passing. So okay, this is the send request function which has endpoint as argument, payload and access token. So endpoint is the point like where the request has to be sent, and the payload is the information which we need to send, and token is the authentication token which is required for placing an order, cancelling. And then coming to inside part here, so this is the basic part. Like here we are initializing the CURL library and creating handle, and then here we are combining the base URL plus an endpoint, and passing it as a post request for the server, and then we are receiving it here. And then after the internal process, like checking the authentication is valid or not here, and then we are returning the read, like whichever the output we are coming, so we are receiving it here. Like if we take a function, such as place order, so here we get that, like for place order, if we see, okay. Coming to code part, we included libraries from CURL library, and for JSON parsing we used Nullman JSON.hpp, and for WebSocket communication we used WebSocket.tpp library. And here we are creating a client, a WebSocket client, and we are aliasing it with the client name, and then here also we are aliasing it with JSON for parsing the JSON output. And okay, we'll start by discussing each functions, like placing order, cancelling order. So okay, we'll start from placing order. So this is the place order function, so which is written in class trading client. So we see here the place order function has input as string, instrument, and access token, and price and amount. And here we create a JSON payload, and then we send this response to the send request function. So send request function is a function which is used to send the request from the user to the server. So this is the send request function. So it has endpoint, a payload, and access token. So what this function does is it takes the endpoint here, and it combines with the base URL present here, and it sends the request, like if it is a post request, then it sends a post request using curl CURL library. And then to coming to a next function, that is sorry, coming to a next function is a cancel order. So here I have given extensive error details, like what if my response which is coming from the output is not empty. If it is not empty, then try to print it. So this is parsing the output which we are getting. So if it contains any error, so it immediately prints here JSON response contains error, and also it contains some data, then it tries to print the error details. If it doesn't contain, then it gives a simple output, order placed successfully. And coming to next function here is get all open orders. So same here, we use the JSON payload, and from this JSON payload here we pass it as input, like endpoint where you need to send, and access token. And again here we are handling the error carefully. So and my next function is cancel order function. So the cancel order function again is used to cancel the orders. So it is having again the same JSON payload, and its argument is private cancel. I'm passing it to send request, and yep. So this is, and similarly the modify order. So here whichever the response which we are getting, so is printed over here, order modified successfully, and if any error is there, so it analyzes the error and outputs the error details as mentioned. And even for the order book it is same. So for HTTP request, so each and every function is similar, so just we need to change the JSON payload and the endpoint whichever we are trying to send. So rest all is the same. And coming to the send request part, so wait, I'll show you the send request parts. So this is the send request part function. So here it takes the whichever endpoint, whichever gain, and the payload and access tokens. So it initializes the library, and it creates a handle for each and every thing, and it combines the base URL plus the endpoint which we are passing. So this is the base URL which we are passing and the endpoint, and then it sends the information which we are giving to server and tries to receive it. So here it is checking if the authentication is there or not, and then it returns the buffer. Okay, coming to the next part is the WebSocket communication. Okay, so the WebSocket part is mentioned, I guess, here itself. Get positions, get order book, modify order, cancel order, place order, authenticate. So this is the authenticate function which is performed initially. So this is also similarly to the same HTTP request part. Coming to a different part is a subscription part. So here what we do is created a subscribe to order book function. So it passes the JSON, it takes the JSON payload, like a method as public to subscribe, and parameters are given as usual, and sends this payload to send WebSocket message function, so which is right here. So this function is used to send message through WebSocket, this function. So if my WebSocket is connected, then it starts the time, and it sends the messages, and if it isn't connected, then it pops the message immediately, WebSocket not connected. So it sends the here as mentioned ws.client sends the message. So send function is written here somewhere. So this is the function so coming to WebSocket part, so this is the first part. So that is a constructor. So whichever ID or secret ID is coming, it is stored in client ID and secret ID, and then here we are clearing out all the logs, clearing out all log channels, or what we say, like error logging, whichever are there, it is clearing. And then here we are initializing the WebSocket initialize, and here we are trying to create the handlers for on message, on open, and on close. We are creating the handlers, and then coming to the this is the destructor which is used to end the WebSocket connections after completion. and then this is the on open handler which have been created here. This helps to open the connect the WebSocket connection is been established. It pops the mirror, I mean message, once the connection is established, and whichever message which we are getting from the WebSocket is from this function like on message. So here the output, here we are sending the message from client and connection, and then here we get response and we parse it and we try to print the total thing. And then coming to this void on close function, so it tells whether the WebSocket connection is closed, like after completing of WebSocket usage of the web I mean after completing the message transport, so WebSocket connection has been closed, so this tells it. And here the main function which is used to connect to the WebSocket, and so this is the total function which is used to connect to the WebSocket, and this function is used to send the message to the WebSocket, and the upper one is used to receive from the WebSocket, and this is the subscribe to order book function. And coming to the main function is this is the main function where I used the switch case statements to pass order. And yeah, so this is final my this is the finally my assignment. So this assignment gave me a lot of knowledge and learn new things in WebSockets, and also regarding HTTP request in and the two using C++.